How did the Encomienda system differ from chattel slavery? Imagine living in a world where your labor is demanded, but your status as a person is still recognized. That's what the Encomienda system was about during the colonial era. It was a way for Spanish colonizers to organize work from indigenous communities. The crown granted settlers, called encomenderos, the right to collect tribute and labor from indigenous groups. The idea was that they would protect these communities and teach them Christianity. So, indigenous people were seen as subjects of the crown, not as property. They had legal rights, even if those rights were often ignored. Chattel slavery was very different. Enslaved people were considered personal property, like tools or animals. They could be bought, sold, and inherited. Their status was permanent and passed down to their children. Enslaved individuals had no legal rights and no protection. They were forced to work without any obligation from their owners to care for them or teach them anything. Another key difference is how long each system lasted. Encomiendas were meant to be temporary or limited in time. The crown later restricted how many generations could hold them. Chattel slavery was lifelong and hereditary, meaning children born to enslaved parents were also enslaved. The crown's role was also different. The Encomienda system was created to organize indigenous labor within a framework that included responsibilities like protecting and converting them. It was meant to serve the crown's interests while trying to be somewhat humane. Chattel slavery, on the other hand, was purely about ownership and profit, with no obligations to the enslaved beyond forced labor. Culturally, the Encomienda system aimed to Christianize indigenous peoples and integrate them into colonial society. It included religious instruction and efforts to convert them. Chattel slavery generally did not involve religious or cultural goals. Enslaved people were often kept separate from society and denied any cultural rights. Even though the Encomienda system was supposed to be different from slavery, in practice it often looked very similar. Indigenous people faced harsh treatment, forced labor, and suffering. The system led to a sharp decline in indigenous populations and left a lasting mark on Latin American history. In Latin culture, the Encomienda system reflects a complex legacy. It was a way for the Spanish crown to control indigenous labor while trying to spread Christianity. It was a mix of legal, economic, and religious goals. But it also caused a lot of harm and exploitation. So, while they are different in theory, in reality both systems caused suffering and shaped colonial society in Latin America.